So since Mother's Day is winding down, and I hope each and every one of you listening to me spent some quality time today with your mother, and you told them that you love them, and you're thankful for everything that they have done for you. I just got back from seeing my mother. I just got out of work, and I spent some time with her. My girlfriend had bought her a gift earlier in the day with a nice card that me and her both signed. So I dropped that off there. I had a little dinner there. I seen my father. I haven't seen him in 3 weeks, and I sat down with my brothers. But it's nice that we can all just be very grateful for what our mothers have done for us. And the whole point of this commentary is to explain to you that I really didn't have a great relationship with my mother early in my teens. I was very hostile, and some bad shit happened where me and my mother just did not speak to each other for close to a year. I pretty much disowned her as a son. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want to have anything to do with her, pretty much. And that's completely changed today, the present day. I love my mother to the end of the fucking earth. She's my best friend. I can talk to her about anything. I go to her for everything. She's the first person that I call for anything. And I hope that's the same way for you guys. So, happy Mother's Day to everyone's mothers out there. Every one of you guys who have subscribed to this channel. Like I said earlier, I hope you did sit down with your mothers and tell them that you love them. But, like I said, it was a very rocky relationship as I turned 18 with my mother. I had just met this girl. She was from Vermont. And I was big into the whole dial-up AOL thing. My dad had just got AOL, or he had AOL, and he was making us use his screen name, which I remember fondly. My dad's nickname is Louie. So he put as a screen name Louie X something 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 with some letters. I don't know, or with some numbers. I don't fully remember, but I know it was Louie DX or something like that. So every time he was on, he would do his business online, and he would, delegate time to me and my brother Frank to go online and just surf the net. I did my wrestling stuff, and I did the whole MySpace thing or whatever the fuck was going on at the time. We were big into those AOL chat rooms. If you're into the old school AOL, you had those chat rooms for like music and entertainment and like singles and all that shit. So one day when I had gone off to college, I did a semester at Western Connecticut State University with my best friend Peter. And I had my own laptop in my room, and I was at class one day. And for some reason, I got this weird, email or AIM message or AOL message, like the instant messenger. And it was from this girl who lived in Vermont. She seen my AOL profile and was interested in talking to me because she was interested in what she seen on my AOL profile. You know how the AOL profiles, you could put descriptions and, make it your own and, make it all fucking sound good and shit. So I filled mine with music and, smart comments and this and that. So she took an interest to that. And she was from Vermont, and it was a long distance thing, but we got talking on the phone first, and then, we eventually, went on from the phone and met each other in person. Now, the first time that I had met her was when she actually hopped on a bus 14 hours from Vermont to the Bronx, and we spent 3 nights in a hotel here in the Bronx, completely behind my mother's back. And at this point, I was so distant from my mother. I just wanted to get out. I was like the rebel 18-year-old. I just wanted to get the fuck out. I was living with my best friend at the time, and my mother, I didn't want her to find out, what I was doing, that I was spending night in sleazy hotels with a random girl I met online. God forbid, what she would do to me. So I kept everything a secret, and, we spent some time together, and then from there, we kind of decided that we wanted to start seeing each other, but we had to make a commitment to one another, and, we did the long distance thing and emails and all that shit for, a half a year, and then I decided to, moved to New Jersey, and that's where I got my start in New Jersey. She was the one who prompted me to move to New Jersey, and during this whole time, I was on my way out anyway. My mother was fucking like a fire-breathing dragon. She just fucking hated my existence. me and her used to argue, and then when my mom and I used to argue, my dad got into it, and my dad got very violent. My dad got very violent, and he would not be afraid to raise his hand to you. And my mom's retaliation against me was, anything that I see lying around that's yours, I'm just gonna break it. She took my entire box of compact discs, CDs. I had so many CDs from all the bands I used to listen to. She dumped the whole box on the floor and just started fucking stepping on them, breaking the fucking plastic disc. She threw my laptop outside the fucking window and it smashed all over the concrete outside. She did the same thing with my fucking Ibanez guitar. It was my first guitar. That shit got fucking destroyed. And at that point, I was living with my best friend anyway. I just stayed with him for a half a year, and then it was gracious enough of him to let me stay. But when I was staying with him, I had gone back and forth to New Jersey looking for jobs, and I actually moved out of my best friend's house because I didn't really want to be a burden upon him anymore. And my girlfriend was, at the time, she was from Vermont, but she moved to New Jersey because her parents were down there, and she was going to Stockton College down there, and she was living on campus. So I actually snuck on campus, and I was living on campus for 6 months. I was eating in the cafeteria. I was spending days in her dorm room until she got back, until we went out into the city and just, hung out and went to dinner and, just did, the couples thing. I was fucking stupid and young, I didn't give a shit. I dated her for about 4 years, and that's when I first moved to New Jersey. And then she didn't want to live on campus anymore, and we got our first place in Atlantic City, right in front of not the resorts, what was the Hilton on Pacific Avenue, some fucking shithole. It was just fucking disgusting, and we wanted to be together and this and that, and during this whole time, my mom had met her a few times and just completely embarrassed me in front of her. And I remember one time that my girlfriend at the time slept over because I wanted my mother to meet her, and we were sleeping downstairs in the basement, futon all folded out, and my mom was so drunk at that time that night. She was drinking heavily with my father, and she came running downstairs and just smashed the phone over my head, thinking that I was having sex downstairs in the basement of her house and drinking alcohol behind her back, all because I had my girlfriend at the time spend the night. And she got in a violent rage, and while I was sleeping, just smashed the telephone over my head, waking me up. She fucking cut me open, and it was from that point, it was rocky to begin with. But I wanted my mother to meet the girl I was seeing, but it was so rocky that at that point I had moved away completely, and I didn't even talk to her for about close to a year. And obviously I moved to New Jersey. I moved in with this girl, and I got a job as a barista for Starbucks, making $6.25 an hour, and I was literally working 17 to 18 hours a day just to fucking live down there and pay the rent and pay the bills and this and that. She was going to school, and then she eventually got a job alongside me, so we were working together. But my grandfather was gracious enough at the time, when he was well and he was working, he was still roofing. He gave me $5,000 to just get started. And the first thing he told me was, do not put this money in those fucking machines down there. Do not put them in the slot machines. Do not go to the fucking tables and play blackjack or poker. And the only times that I played blackjack and poker, when I lived in Atlantic City, I lived down there for 6.5 years. I played once with my buddy Sean for his birthday one year at Harris. It's the only time I gambled. But my mom's relationship with me was very rocky, and I had not talked to her for a year, until one day came, and I said, you know what, I love my mother, I miss my mother, I don't want this to go on any further. And at that time I was in a band, and we were practicing regularly, and I would go up there every week on the Greyhound bus and jam with the guys, and obviously I would spend the night over at my mother's house, and the nights I was over there we would just talk and get closer and closer and closer, and we eventually patched things up, and I'm glad that I did, because I could not be standing here today without my mother. I would not be as successful as I am today as a fucking grown man without my mother. There's a ton more stories I could tell you, and I can go on for an hour about how my mother, was there for me with everything that happened to me, all the bad shit that happened to me in New Jersey. She was there at the drop of a fucking dime, and I love my mother to the end of the fucking earth. I do not know what I would do without her, and just like my grandpa, You know, I love everyone in my family, and I would not. I don't know how I would live if I lost any one of them. So you know, I hope all you guys had a great Mother's Day with your mothers. Tell your mothers that you love them, and appreciate everything that they do for you. All right, I'm out, guys. I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. Hardcore kill confirmed, 40 kills. I'm out. I will talk to you all later this week. Life After Prestige Master number 21 coming, along with Uprising DLC. I'm out, guys. Talk to you later.